Well, if you're going to win a game, you may as well do it with two absolute worldies. The Wolves match folks come up, Newcastle fans, so do us a favour and make sure you stick around. That's very good. Hey, that's very good.
It's match day. It's Wolverhampton Wanderers down at Molineux Stadium. The international football is over. All of that rubbish stuff. Let's forget about Republic of Ireland for England and Finland at Wembley. Does anyone really care about that stuff? Anthony Gordon was playing. I care about that. But now the real stuff starts. I'm in the car. I've had a stressful morning. I've spilt the coffee all the way down my top. Eddie Howe's absolutely shit-covered mags, pardon the French. And I'm coming down, not on the party bus for this one, I'm in the party car, and I'm joined by my Uber driver, Colin. I'll tell you what, we have upgraded the technology, look at that, just hiding under Mr. Collins' neck there. He's got his own mic.
£12.99 this.
£12.99, and the rest.
I was at £13.99.
Well, somewhere close. No, it was much more than that, actually, for anyone who's interested. Anyway, welcome back. Wolves, confident. Did a live stream on Friday. I was confident. You were confident.
Yeah, very much so. Yeah, definitely.
Every person I've spoken to is confident, and that's nice. I'm in the car going down. All is well. What are you going for today?
3-1. And Gordon to score at some point.
Gordon to score. So we touched on it. I know not everyone may be watching this video, watches my live streams. That was one of the main topics. Anthony Gordon hasn't really been firing pre-international break. I think it's very, very fair to say. Did score against Bournemouth. Not knocking him for that. Not knocking him in any way, really. Just the Anthony Gordon we know is one of our best players on the pitch, and the Anthony Gordon we have seen so far looked a bit of a shadow of his former self, and I don't think that's too harsh. And he's done his interview for England. Gareth Southgate basically ripped him a new one during the Euros. He said that was the most downbeat interview I've ever seen him do, and he's a very honest character. You were saying how much you like that about him on Friday with his interviews. He is.
I think that the Gary Neville one?
Yeah,
that was a brilliant interview. That one.
I still don't believe that he meditates 2 days before a game, but that's each to their own.
Well, you meditate 1 day before a game, don't you?
I meditate before I get in the car with you because I have to mentally prepare.
To be fair, I've got to take you back to the special needs home after this.
And the great banter down the walls has started. So yeah, Anthony Gordon, I personally think this international break, as much as nobody likes the international breaks to come out this early in the season, it's come at a perfect time because he has now realised that Lee Carsley thinks he is one of the top dogs for England, and he's going to play him. If Lee Carsley gets the job long term, I wouldn't be surprised if Anthony Gordon is our first choice left winger for our country. Not your country, because where are you originally from, Colin?
Scotland.
He's from Scotland. He likes Iron Brew and haggis and Iron Brew poured over his haggis. What was that like? Can you do better? Go on.
Get the fuck and get on with it.
Get on with it. Yeah, I'm going massively off, and this is the first part of the video. That's never a good start. What I'm trying to allude to is I think Anthony Gordon is going to come out the traps firing. And before I get properly into stats, and of course I'm going to do stats, one that I think is fascinating, that could be my famous last words on this video, Colin. Oh, it's very
That's a nice yellow Porsche.
Oh, look at that.
That's beautiful.
My famous last words on this video is that no team since the start of the 22-23 season has had a better ratio of wins after international breaks than Eddie Howe, because he gets them in, he gets them fitter, and he gets them sharper for this high intense style. I don't want to see reserve football against the likes of Craig Dawson in that Wolverhampton back four today. I want to see Isak pressing, I want to see Gordon pressing, I want to see Bruno pushing on a couple of yards, and I want to see a bit of Sandro ole ole ole, Sandro ole ole ole,
midfield maestro from Milano.
That's who we want to see.
Ole, ole, ole.
One thing I don't want to be part of, if Mr. Eddie Howe decides to play Longstaff over Sandro tonight.
Oh, stop it, man.
Hey, I'm not, this isn't the Longstaff slagging video.
Yeah,
I'm just saying.
Stop it, man. Longstaff's been a really good team player for us.
He has, and I'm not knocking that. But anyway, we're on the way down. We might stop. Are we stopping?
I'll have to, yeah.
Yeah, he needs a poo.
I shit in the morning.
He shits in the morning.
Shits in the morning.
I think we're going to stop the social club. The usual crew are down there who I normally come down with on the buses. So we're going to see what social club they've decided to take over for a cheeky pint. I think it's 20 minutes away from the stadium. Because Wolves, for anyone who's never been down to Wolves, you can't get in anywhere near. It's one of them stadiums where their fans, even though there's no rivalry, think that away fans should not come anywhere near their pubs. I'll let you make of that what you will on what sort of supporters they maybe have, but I just do not understand it. Newcastle has over 1,000 bars. Away fans are pretty much allowed in every single one apart from the Stack and I think Rosie's.
Is them 2,000 bars, is that when you're drunk and you've got beer goggles on, it's 1,000 bars and you doubles up? Oh, come on, at 2,000 bars!
I'd love to do a crawl of try and go to every single pub within the NE1. Just NE1, let's not get daft.
Started Sergeant Pepper's though.
Oh, Sergeant Pepper's.
Sergeant Pepper's.
Can of Carlin in Sergeant Pepper's. I love it.
No, there's better stuff to have in Sergeant Pepper's than that, isn't
Anyway,
there?
we're chatting a load of rubbish. Let's get down there. Let's get in the social club. Let's see what Newcastle fans have got to say. And let's bring home 3 points. I'm confident. He's confident. You better be confident watching this, even though this is going to be posted after the match. Make that comment what you will.
We never made it to the pub because the traffic was so bad. And we ended up going straight to the ground.
I'm let the side down a little bit. Raided the fridge for a couple of car beers. Coors Light.
You people disgust me.
There you go. How very nice of it. Ooh, rudest Uber driver ever, honestly. As far as can you give a minus on Uber? Because he's getting it. Even any Americans watching will probably agree. Not one of your finest creations. I love the food in America. I love Shock Top. So many beers. Coors Light, not so much. But we move, we drink. Eddie Howe's mags are back in action. Oh yeah, the weak, piss poor water drinking mags. We are behind enemy lines, and if everything I've heard about the fact we're not allowed in any bars could get a bit tasty. Are you ready for it to get a bit tasty, Cold?
What, like steak or something like that?
He hasn't got his Stone Island badge on his hoodie, I've noticed, so he's letting the side down there. Get the badge in!
A 55-year-old fucking Stone Island, you better.
Team news is out. Tonali is not in the team, and I've already seen a couple of comments on social media. Yeah, he's on the bench.
That's fine. That's fine.
Right. Right, so
Longstaff's been outstanding, man.
Let's go back to the question. Would you have wanted Tonali in before the team came out?
Yes.
Yeah, there you go then. So
well,
yes, so there's a couple of disappointed people.
I'm not disappointed though.
But Eddie Howe,
Hannah is.
If we go back to Eddie Howe and how he likes to bed players in, he's done this before. We signed Bruno and we didn't see him straight away. Tonali's come back after 10 months out. Yes, he's played 2 games for Italy. Yes, it's frustrating. But he is, I'm looking at our bench. We've got a couple of options there. Not loads, but Barnes, yeah.
Barnes.
Trippier offers a bit going forward. We've got Barnes, who's a massive impact player, massive.
But imagine Trips, Barnes, Tonali all coming on in about the 60th minute to turn this game round.
But I don't want the, there's also an argument there, Colin, that you don't want the game to have to be turned round by these players in the 60th minute.
We'll be winning 2-0 by the time they come on.
Well, anyway, like I say, behind enemy lines, I've got my fist ready, just in case it gets a little bit naughty walking around these parts.
That's because you can run faster than me.
Well, yeah. Basically what I mean by that is I'll be absolutely legging it. Not far off the ground. The supporters bus that I normally get on's just gone past, which is quite funny.
Full of wankers, wasn't it?
I don't even think they watch this, to be honest. Right, let's get amongst it. Let's get inside the stadium. We hopefully take the 3 points from what is not the most happiest, brightest of places, I must say, around this stadium. Give me Newcastle any day of the week. Right, just outside the stadium, enjoying my Graham, who, fortunately for me, watches my videos. I don't know why. I don't know.
Graham's always just looking for his next meal. That's all Graham's looking for. That's all he's looking for. His next bit bit.
Right, outside the stadium, what are we thinking of there? No tonight. We won't talk about that.
2-1.
2-1. You can score him first.
Gordon.
Stroke the beat and tell us. Stroke the beat and tell us. Murphy scoring first.
Murphy did deal.
Confidence, I like it.
Well, he better now. I've said it. 2-1. 2-1.
Quick beer review, £5.50 for a can of Guinness to be poured in a pint glass. Not the best, but I would rather have this over a can.
Right then, just back out the car, just got back. My voice is pretty much gone because Barnes will tear you apart again. Yeah, that's right, Newcastle United have got the points in the bag. My God, though, wasn't the best, was it? It really, really wasn't the best. But sometimes you just have to put your foot through it. He who dares and buys the lottery ticket sometimes wins. And my God, did Fabian Schär win. And my God, did Harvey Barnes win. But before that Fabian Schär goal goes in, it's worth talking about. It wasn't very good. It wasn't. We were all frustrated in the away end. It was one of the quietest away ends. Wolves is always difficult because it's such a long stretch. Really long one side of the stadium. But it was quiet. They were quiet. It had a friendly atmosphere for large spells. Really strange atmosphere. But it wasn't very good. And we weren't very happy before that deflected goal goes in. And then suddenly things change. It was a good opening to the game. First 10-15 minutes, we pressed high. We looked fresh like I expected us to following an international break, with Gordon looking a bit brighter, Isaac looking a bit sharper, Murphy, you know, he's always zippy, and they couldn't handle it. Their goalkeeper struggled, they struggled, and I was really, really excited. I thought we are getting in their faces. This is what I want to see. We are going to get something here. And we dropped off a couple of yards, and they got a bit of a foothold in the game, and then we conceded a sloppy goal, and we never really recovered. We didn't in the second half. You know, there's moans and groans at half time. I felt the frustration. I spoke to fans about the frustration at half time. That Tonali wasn't playing, that Barnes wasn't playing, Longstaff wasn't having a very good match. And then Eddie Howe, I tell you what, you can say what you want about his starting lineup. It's a ballsy thing for any manager in the Premier League to make 3 substitutes at half time. I know he was forced with Isaac as far as we understand, but Tonali comes in, Barnes comes in. And it did. We still weren't great. Those players were obviously still bedding in. The system had to change a little bit. Joe Linton, you miss him. You miss those legs. You miss how he's here, there and everywhere. But we got the goal. We got the goal, Fabian Schär. Bang, I don't care whether it deflected. I don't care whether it bounced off someone's bollock. And the man is so beautiful. We'll forget that deflected. We will forget that deflected. Who cares is what I say to that. And then it's all us, and we really, really hope we can go one further. And then Harvey Barnes, for me, just shows exactly why we signed Harvey Barnes, because you know he scores goals, and you know he always wants to get the shot off. He did it against West Ham last season in that famous 4-3. He did it against Spurs in last time out, and he's done it again. And what a goal. My God, that is one of them ones. Shut the curtains, get the Yankee candle on, put some Barry White music lightly in the background, and enjoy that goal over and over again. Fantastic. And we saw it over. 8 minutes of injury time, we got over the line. Now, what I'm going to take away from today is this is still a Newcastle team that is not firing on all cylinders. We keep saying it, and I will keep saying it, but Eddie Howe's football teams in general always start the season slow. Even the season we got Champions League, it wasn't until October away to Fulham that we actually won a football match. We are 3rd in the Premier League, and we have not properly got going. But that's not me being glass half full here. What I really hope Eddie Howe takes away from today is, yes, there's positives. There's always positives. We did start the game brightly. I thought Isaac looked a little bit sharper until he went off. Defensively, we looked pretty solid, I would say. There was some positives there, but Eddie, just start playing your best players. It's not rocket science. Tonali, was he resting him because he played 2 weeks for Italy, 2 games for Italy, full matches, just 5 days previous? Maybe. Is it a case of Eddie Howe having too many favourites? That's going to be a conversation for further down the season. I really hope not, because Tonali is an outstanding footballer and Harvey Barnes is a £35 million winger who scores goals. Get these players in, and we need to find a way to bed them into the system. Is it going to change our system? Yes. But do we need to find a way of fitting them into our system? 1,000,000%. Because they will prove their weight in gold, and that's one of the biggest things I hope Eddie Howe takes away from today. Other talking points from me from today's performance: Bruno, everyone was slating Longstaff, everybody. And you know, he made a mistake for their goal, giving the ball away. He did look sloppy. He does look like the one in our midfield who's taking that little bit longer at the moment. As much as I feel like sometimes people get on his back a little bit needlessly, because all football fans need a scapegoat sometimes when a lot of players aren't playing well, which leads me on to Bruno. I'm not calling for Bruno at all. He's integral to everything we do. But he is letting games go past him a little bit at the moment. And I did not see a Bruno commanding anything today. Yes, he plays his part. Yes, he digs in. But he, let's face it, Newcastle fans, is in the team to create. And at the moment, I'm not seeing much from him. He's very deep. Is the captain's armband maybe getting to him? So that's one thing I'd say. We need to get a little bit more out of him. I thought Anthony Gordon was better today, but still, work rate-wise, I was a little bit concerned at maybe some of his defensive duties. But he definitely looked brighter. Livramento, we talked about it on my live stream before this match. We are missing something down that right-hand side with Livramento. He's outstanding defensively, but when Murphy, someone like Jacob Murphy, who's not the best player in the world, let's face it, does not have an overlapping fullback to open up space, it changes our play down that right-hand side. It really does. And Livramento wants to come inside, and we are not figuring a way for that to make it work for us at the moment. And Trippier, when he came on, he just offered us that out ball, that overlap, that willingness to get the ball into the box. And he did, he made a difference. And Livramento is raw. Lewis Hall, who I thought was good in patches and not so good in other patches, is raw. Both young kids, both very much coming through and learning playing full-back. Lots of different areas there. I think right back needs to be addressed. Livramento fitting into a system a bit more. And do we go with Kieran Trippier down at Fulham on Saturday? I think Barnes needs to be bedded in. Tonali certainly needs to come into this Newcastle team. And if Alexander Isak isn't fit next week, which I think he probably will be, that highlighted to me a little bit. If he's not going to play Osula and he's going to go Gordon down the middle instead, that shows where our squad is. You know, I'm not saying the transfer window is going to catch us up just yet, because we do have strength in depth, but it's a bit of a concern. That was not the best performance by any means, but we have got 10 points from 12. We are unbeaten. We are third in the league, and I still honestly believe there is more to come from this Newcastle team. 2 screamers, absolute limbs when that Barnes one went in. I've met some amazing Newcastle fans again today. Anyone who gives a cheeky little chat, whether it be on the concourse or before the match, absolute legends, absolutely love it. And I'm just taking a breath. We're not seeing good things. But today, my biggest takeaway, and I will do more videos in the week, is that Eddie Howe needs to learn from this, that we need to start playing our best players and not relying on some of them to come in when the going is getting tough. Still more to come from this Newcastle team, but a win is a win. And when you win when you're not playing your best, that fills me with a little bit of optimism this early in the season. Keep the faith, Newcastle fans. Keep the faith. On to the next one we go. Fulham on Saturday, then Wimbledon on Tuesday, then Man City, then Everton. The games are coming thick and fast, but we will hopefully look a little bit sharper, and there's plenty of things to take away from today. The one thing we'll all be taking is that Barnes will tear you apart again. Now I'm going to go and get a pack of Kleenex, some spicy lube, and go and watch those highlights over and over and over again over a Chinese. Enjoy the rest of your night, and I'll see you on the next one. Hit that like, hit that follow, hit that subscribe. Hooray, lads!